over 20 for the Hawks tonight. The Knicks also had 3 players over 20 points, led by OG Anunoby, but just fell short there at the end. Here's the man who made the game winner, CJ McCollum, after the game. Yeah, you really saw the difference with this Hawks team after that trade deadline and bringing these pieces in. And still, I feel like they had been overlooked for most of that latter part of the regular season, and now really giving a headache here to the Knicks. So how do the Knicks turn this around for Game 4?
Well, for me, the thing I understand Cat had a big game, 21 points off of 12 field goals, but if you're 7 for 12, it just lets me know you probably should be shooting a little bit more, right? And I understand this is Jalen Brunson's team, but for this series alone, they made future Karl-Anthony Towns a little bit more in the offense in the post area. And look, he may not score as much in the post area, but he can work off double teams if they give him the attention that he needs offensively, and then they can play off of that. But if you're going 7 for 12 off of 21 points, you can get a little bit more shots in the future and a little bit more.
I'm going to agree with the DC out here. I'm a big man, so obviously I'm biased. But the beauty of having a guy like Cat on your team, if you have bigger centers out there, Jokic's, take them out to the perimeter, work from there. But this is Atlanta squad. They don't guard with their size so much as their athleticism, their length, their team. They don't have the bigger players to match up one-on-one with a guy like Cat, and that's what they need to be taking advantage of. I also think the other thing that the Knicks, they had too many turnovers this game, and it was that final play was emblematic of the Knicks' entire night for me.
And to add to your point, you know, the Hawks, the way they're playing Karl-Anthony Towns and the Knicks, they're very perimeter-oriented. They have a lot of good perimeter players, Hawks, defensively. But, like, if you're Karl-Anthony Towns, they have nobody to guard you at the post area. So if you're playing at the top of the key, trying to pick and pop, that's not going to do you good justice. You got to mix in some rolls, getting down to get some mismatches. He did a good job on the rebounds, but I think they can feature a little bit more on the post area just to create a little bit more double teams and easier shots.
If he keeps popping as a defender, I'm breathing a sigh of relief every time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We do have this final play here that I want to break down with you guys on what you saw. And Robin, you said it was emblematic of what we saw throughout the night here for the Knicks. Even though they made that big push, they came so close. I really thought, oh man, they're going to do this in the final minute of the game. But it's true. It's those minuscule moments, right, that make up a big ground.
And that's exactly what DC was talking about. Atlanta has a lot of great perimeter defenders, and we see the Knicks, they would turn the ball over all night. That final play, a sloppy pass, you know, not quite the shot they wanted, emblematic of their whole night.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Big O, way to slide his puppies and not foul Jalen Brunson in that situation, but I just think the Knicks as a whole have to get on the same page offensively to execute better, especially in this last possession. I mean, they shouldn't make it this difficult. You know, the ball needs to be in Jalen Brunson's hand at the top of that key. Him and Karl-Anthony Towns play their two-man game, but they just made it a little bit more difficult.
You have to anticipate they're going to send the double to Brunson, too.
Every time.
For sure.
And you have to make yourself available to him. There's got to be some kind of outlet, and there really wasn't in that situation.
Right. The worst area you can be as a guard getting double team is on the side. Right, and if Jalen Brunson's on the side and they're saying that double team, for his size, it's going to be hard for him to pass over the double team. But they made it way more difficult than what it should have been.
They also do have to get more people involved. Mikal Bridges had 0 points. How do they get him more involved in this offense?
Well, this is why I was saying if they put Karl-Anthony Towns at the post area and he's getting double teamed, maybe Mikal Bridges can get some wide open threes in the corner when they swing pass to the corner, right, on some open shots. But if they're just playing one-on-one basketball on the perimeter, Mikal can't get his game going, right? He needs to be the beneficiary off of double teams. And the guys that's going to get double team is not just Jalen Brunson, but Karl-Anthony Towns can get double team on the post area.
Right now, the Knicks are a little stagnant and they're predictable. The Hawks kind of know what to expect with them, I think.
Speaking of the Hawks, I feel like our favorite name to say, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he came up pretty big, especially in that second half for Atlanta. What he's been able to do for this squad this season in particular has been really impressive to watch, too.
Yeah, and I think it's mainly because of his defense, too, right? We talk about how improved he is offensively. Most of us feel like he's the most improved player, you know, in this league, rightfully so. But defensively, he doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves. He's doing a great job on Jalen Brunson and trying to contain him. Jalen Brunson's still going to get his, but his ability to contain him and still contribute on the offensive end is really what makes his Knicks Hawks really good.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have Coach Mike Brown down at the podium to talk about a really tough but gritty game here for the Knicks. Let's listen in.
Won the ball game, but we definitely had our chances. I like the fight that our guys showed. I like the resiliency that our guys showed. We were down a couple of times by, a big 18, 16 points. And our guys continued to fight to give us a chance down the stretch. So it was a great fight. In the second half, they shook loose a little bit in transition. And on the offensive glass, they had a couple of big offensive rebounds that helped keep the lead or help them, stay right where they need to stay to pull a tight game out. So we have to do a better job in those two areas for 48 minutes and not let up, like we did a little bit in that second half. But, again, very encouraged by our guys' fight. We know we didn't play our best basketball. That's not taking anything away from the Hawks. The game was physical, and, we found a way to match it. And we gave ourselves a chance down the stretch.
Like in the first half, first and second quarter, was that some of the sloppiness? Was that your guys, or was it their physical play?
Both. Both teams were sloppy. We had 16 turnovers. We had 18 turnovers. They had 16 turnovers, and a game that's that physical, it's bound to happen. And the team that takes care of the ball and doesn't allow the other team to go to the free throw line, while limiting the offensive rebounds, is going to have a chance to win it because you're going to win the possession game.
Mike, your last shot, what did you want to see on that possession, and what kind of mucked it up?
We actually got a switch that we weren't thinking we'd get in terms of a Kongwu on Jalen, and we cleared the side of the floor for him. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to zipper him to the top of the floor and clear that right side of the floor for him, because that's what he's comfortable doing, and tell him to go win it. That's what we were looking for.
Mike, using Benjamin McCollum for, I think, all but 4 minutes of the second half, what did you see there, and how concerned are you about him moving forward?
I'm not concerned about him. I just, again, the way the game was being played and the different runs that we made and the different combinations that I threw out there, I just went with what I felt the game called for at that time. So I'm not concerned. McCall's a pro. He's been there. He's been here, played in hundreds of basketball games. So he'll be fine. But this is what the game called for, and this is what I went with.
Mike, kind of with that, all during the regular season, you did a good job of kind of pushing buttons and finding the right guy off the bench to come in. In the postseason, specifically the last two games, a couple guys have struggled on the bench. How difficult has that been for you to just, when the team needs a little something, just trying to figure out who to go to as some guys are trying to find their rhythm in this series?
Hey, that's what my job is to keep searching, and that's what we had to do tonight. And we found the right combinations, and shoot, went up by, had a chance to go up by 3, I think, and you couldn't ask for anything better than that with a minute left in the game, or less than a minute left in the game, a chance to go up